I am so damn sick of hearing about this YouTuber, Colleen Ballinger. What I'm even sicker of are the 50 billion reaction vids on her that do nothing but focus on that stupid ukulele. And they all have the same titles, too. Worst apology ever. Like their comic book guy. Worst apology ever. Colleen Ballinger, that YouTuber. What did she do? It's the worst apology ever. What did she do? The ukulele, dude. It's the ukulele, man. It's that stupid song. What did she do? Yeah, she's like a groomer or something, but, like, check out this video of her with the ukulele. It's the worst apology ever. Yeah, the last reaction vid said that, and so did the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that, and nobody's talking about what exactly she did. It's all this shit. This vid of her with the ukulele. In a 10-minute musical video, Colleen Ballinger denies the allegations. What allegations? Well, Huffington Post actually covered this. She's a children's YouTube star, and fans are saying she groomed them as teens. So, Colleen Ballinger was this woman on YouTube who was known for a persona or a character known as Miranda Sings. And she is in her late 30s now, I think. She's been doing it for a while. And now other YouTubers, or even if they're not YouTubers, that doesn't matter, people are coming forward and they are accusing her now of doing very inappropriate things with them. She has 20 million followers on YouTube. She has built a colossal platform boasting nearly 20 million followers across multiple YouTube channels by interacting with her young audience directly, largely through an online character known as Miranda Sings. Painted in overdone red lipstick, Sings is a childlike adult with a speech impediment who, despite her tone-deaf singing and awkward dance moves, earnestly believes she's destined for stardom. Okay. So this is her persona. Looks like she's pulling one of those Pee Wee Herman type deals. If you're familiar with Pee Wee Herman, a lot of people probably aren't old enough to remember Pee Wee's Playhouse or Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman. I love Paul Reubens as an actor. I love him as a guy from what I see. I actually was never into Pee Wee's Playhouse growing up, but I loved the Pee Wee movies. They were out of this world hilarious. But like Pee Wee Herman, she's got this specific persona, this character she portrays, wearing the lipstick, dancing awkwardly, singing out of tune. But like Pee Wee Herman, it attracted a whole lot of kids and probably a whole lot of their family members, building her this YouTube empire with over 20 million viewers. And that's pretty amazing. There are YouTubers that will brag about how they're top YouTubers. They don't come close to this amount of subscribers. And she plays the ukulele, and she sings, and she does all of this other crap, like Pee Wee Herman. And I wouldn't say that she's destined for stardom. 20 million viewers on YouTube, that pretty much is stardom. I could just imagine the money she's raking in just on YouTube with 20 million subscribers under her belt. But anyway, 36. She has marketed herself toward children for nearly 15 years by taking part in different YouTube challenges, collaborating with very popular personalities like JoJo Siwa, and she has kids participate in a stage show. She has essentially created Pee-wee's Playhouse for the generation that grew up online. But the nature of YouTube and social media allows her to build way deeper interpersonal relationships with her fans in real time. Duh. Publicly, Ballinger wields that power as a famous children's host should. She's an LGBTQ ally, professes inclusivity and body positivity, and advocates for the sick. But off camera, it appears her interactions with fans have veered into what they describe as inappropriate territory. Early this month, several of Ballinger's longtime fans came forward with the allegations that she maintained uncomfortably close relationships with them back when they were teens, and she used her position of power to manipulate a select group of them for years. They have released screenshots of their private communications with her as evidence to claims that she groomed them throughout adolescence, including allegations that she had inappropriate conversations with them about sex. Huffington Post has reviewed some of these private communications, and they do feature phone numbers that appear to belong to the YouTube star. These former fans are now considering themselves victims. The alleged private conversations between Ballinger and her fans put her private life at odds with the public persona. In messages to certain fans, Ballinger appears to body shame, gossip, and reveal personal information about her own romantic relationships. Ballinger's fans and former husband are now bringing new revelations to the person behind Miranda Sings. Adam McIntyre discovered Miranda Sings in 2012, back when he was 9 years old. He created a fan account on Twitter in 2013 and dedicated all of his time to it. 3 years later, his dedication paid off. At just 13 years old, he got to interact with his idol directly when she noticed a funny comment he made during one of her live streams. At one point, Ballinger said she would send a few lucky fans some of her ugly, unused clothes. McIntyre was among the chosen. Soon after, McIntyre claims, he had received a pair of her underwear in the mail, which included a bra and panties. In a 2020 video, Ballinger had already confirmed that she did send McIntyre the bra and underwear and said the move was completely stupid of her. And after that live stream, the two began to talk on a more personal level, mostly via Twitter DMs. By 2017, McIntyre states he was good friends with Ballinger, who was 29. McIntyre said Ballinger would bring up sex during their conversations when he was still 14 and 15 years old. And he wasn't always alone. He was part of a small private group chat called Colleen's Weenies, where he and other fans had exclusive ongoing access to her. In a YouTube video, McIntyre shared a screenshot from a group chat which he says Ballinger asked McIntyre if he was a virgin and what his favorite position was. McIntyre, then 14, wrote in the Weenies chat that his ass looked good that day. Ballinger responded, pics. The chat wasn't just a place for Ballinger to interact with her fan base. She got personal with them. He said that in 2016, she confided in them about her relationship problems with her then partner, Joshua Evans, who was also a YouTuber at the time. The Weenies said she told them Evans was emotionally abusive, a shocking allegation for a group of young fans. Everyone in the group chat went silent for a second, McIntyre said, and then we're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, before that, we were having a conversation about homework because we were children. About a week later, Ballinger and Evans announced their divorce in separate videos. Ballinger didn't say anything publicly about the alleged emotional abuse. But McIntyre said he and the rest of the Weenies were never told to stand down. They mobilized as Ballinger's de facto public relations unit, going on gossip website and comment sections to defend her reputation and attack the ex amid the divorce. It was a weekly, if not daily, occurrence. She would come in seeking validation, telling us that Josh was abusive, that he screamed at her, that she gave him everything, and he's running hate campaigns on her, McIntyre said. The connotation was for us to go and attack him for her, or for us to reveal the tea to the public because she was telling us that he was abusing her. So then we had to defend her publicly, even though she never said anything publicly. There were some days on school nights I would be up until like 4 a.m. trying to calm her down. I kind of felt like a bodyguard, said Bray, who asked to be identified by her first name. It's so stupid. It's so embarrassing to talk about. But I would just be like, you're wrong on her. She never cheated on her husband. Anytime they'd say something negative, I just immediately went to say the opposite. McIntyre says he spent entire school days messaging with her from an iPad, and she would regularly trauma dump on him. I'm in the middle of class DMing her on my iPad about her abusive ex-husband. I was so involved in this woman's life, it's embarrassing to look back on. Evans said that Ballinger's fans started sending him death threats after the divorce. He didn't know that her fans were waging a secretive gossip campaign against him on her behalf until much later, when fans started showing him screenshots of their chats. Very eye-opening to see this was the route she was going to take. She's going to use children to be the voice for her so she doesn't have to say it. So it doesn't come back to something she said online publicly. So, McIntyre has since publicly apologized to Evans, the ex, in a YouTube video for his role in the smear campaign. I spent years going after this man and attacking him. He did not deserve anything that came his way. Then there's Johnny, who was 15 when he noticed her channel. He didn't have friends at school, so Miranda Sings filled that void for him. Very soon, he quickly found himself in private conversations with her. Even though he wasn't a part of the Weenies chat, his experiences with her were strikingly similar. He met her at a meet and greet after one of her live shows. He rarely had to pay to get in. Ballinger would comp his tickets. But soon talking with her snowballed into an all-encompassing activity. He and other minors would video chat with Ballinger as often as 5 times a week for hours at a time. The conversations were often about the ex. She was dumping on us. She was like, I'm so sad. I don't think he's going to propose to me. She'd do things like that. And she was turning fans against him. So, the typical deal
where somebody gets way too big for their britches and decides to turn their fan base into their own personal army. And she did this with kids. That's what made YouTubers different from normal celebrities. You would talk to them and they would talk back. And we would take pride in that. But in retrospect, it's dangerous. And some of the exchanges deemed inappropriate happened in public. In a 2008 show in Philadelphia, Becky, 16, was called on stage to take part in a bit called the Yoga Challenge. During the challenge, Ballinger instructed Becky, who was wearing a short romper, to lay down on her back. I felt like, I'm not dressed for this, Becky told Huffington Post. But I looked up to her so much and I trusted her so much that I just did it. I lay down and she spread my legs wide open. After Ballinger stretched Becky's legs as wide as they could go, Becky stood up and the bit was over. Becky said she was in shock and felt embarrassed because people kept staring at her afterward. After that, Becky stopped watching Ballinger's videos. The incident still remains on social media today. Other creators have been reposting it as an example of traumatizing a minor. He said it was an uncomfortable night because Ballinger was not remorseful. She knew what she was doing and had no regard for this young girl. And that is just consistent with her behavioral patterns. Ballinger didn't respond to requests for comment from Huffington Post, nor did members of her PR team and management. She has not posted videos in weeks. Evans, on the other hand, is speaking out for the first time. Blah, blah, blah. Well, let's check out McIntyre's one video. Whoa, an hour and 20 minutes long.
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So, for a little bit of context, in 2020, I posted this video, which was called Colleen Ballinger Stopped Lying 3 years ago. And then Colleen responded with a video called Addressing Everything. In my video, I focused on things. I mean, this was 2020, so I just turned 17 in this video.
DM from Corey read,
I just turned 17 in this video, and the purpose in making this video was because I found out that Colleen had been talking shit about me, and that Corey, who's her best friend and lives with her and is like, her best friend, had also been talking shit.
Okay, I'm not gonna go searching around, but she's talking shit about him now. Oh my god. Well, anyway, that is the gist of who she is and what she is accused of doing. Finally, we actually get something that isn't just people watching this ridiculous song video and talking about how, oh my god, worst apology ever. It's a horrible apology. And she's playing a ukulele. Does she think this is cute? I'm sure everybody's seen that video. I'm going to do the opposite of what other people have done. they play the ukulele video that's been viewed 50 billion times and laugh about her singing with a ukulele. And I'm just interested in what the facts are behind it. And I'm only touching on this ukulele thing. In the song, she sings that she used to message her fans, but not in a creepy way. I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans, and I'm not a predator, even though a lot of y'all think so. My YouTube character, Miranda Sings, is PG-13, and she doesn't feel responsible for deciding what is appropriate for kids to watch on YouTube. I know you want me to say I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to take that route. Song lacks any kind of an apology to fans. Yeah, of course, because it's not an apology. That's another thing that pisses me off. Stop saying it's the worst apology ever. It's the worst apology. It's a horrible apology. How could she sit there with a ukulele and call that an apology? Because it's not an apology video. What you're bitching about, that was her point in singing that stupid song with that stupid ukulele. It's not an apology. She's sitting there to say, I do what I want. I don't care what you say. I'm not sorry for anything. And I guess, in a way, she's kind of right. She's made her money. She's spent years forming a fan base. 20 million fucking subscribers to her. For years, at least a decade. She's made a ton of money. She goes on tours. She does live shows like Barney. She has kids come up on the stage. She's not just in some parasocial thing with viewers at home. She does repeat, regular live shows, live tours. Then she's making money off of that on top of the 20 million YouTube subscribers. That's what this stupid song was about. She got hers. She doesn't care. It's not an apology. So stop calling it an apology video and saying, oh, this is horrible. This is so bad. It's only going to be bad in court. It's only going to be bad when any one of these kids and their families finally presses charges against her. If something happens to her, if she gets arrested, she ends up in court, they may look toward this stupid ukulele video as proof for the prosecution that she knew about these allegations. The proof was coming out. She knew she did wrong, which is why she completely stopped posting. And now there's this, showing she's aware of the allegations. She knows who the victims are. She knows all of this is crashing down around her, and she doesn't care. No remorse. That's how it looks bad for her. She doesn't care if it looks bad to you. She doesn't care if it looks bad to her fans. She doesn't care if it looks bad to YouTube viewers. She doesn't care if it looks bad to these former child fans that have been accusing her. She doesn't care. That's what this is about. So stop calling it an apology video, because she's not apologizing. Duh. We know it's not a good apology. We know it's probably just going to make things worse for her. But you want to know something? How many fucking views does she have off of this now? I wouldn't doubt that her PR and management team told her to do this song so that everybody can click on it and say, worst apology ever. I can't believe what kind of an apology this is. 'Cause it isn't an apology. That's her point. And now you're going to click on it. You're going to go to her channel. You're going to click on the video to watch her play that stupid ukulele instead of hearing the news, listening to the allegations, finding the interviews, looking up exactly what she did, talking about that. I am so sick of being inundated. 5,000 reaction vids focusing on this, focusing on the fucking ukulele. Oh, what an apology. You don't even know what the allegations are. You haven't even read any. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that is the extent of my reaction to this shit. I don't even give a shit about this woman. I sure as hell ain't gonna add to her view count by going to her channel to watch her play the ukulele. There's 50 billion reaction YouTubers that have already made her a small fortune by doing that and have no idea what the details of the case are. Well, those are the basic details of the case. I didn't even hear about that yoga challenge shit until I read that HuffPost article. I had heard things about putting food down her pants and making kids reach in to grab it, and that was pretty sick enough as it is, but I never really confirmed it anywhere else. So, you know what? Because that's another thing. I'm not saying that there isn't a perfectly understandable need for somebody to mock people like this the way she's doing when allegations are false, or you're flying high, you're on cloud nine, and all of a sudden some idiot makes up something and it threatens your life, your livelihood, your reputation. That is definitely not the case with this one. It's almost more disturbing. Not even the crap that the individuals are accusing her of doing at live shows or talking on the phone with the kids and bitching at 14-year-olds about her now ex-husband being abusive. It's the manipulation in using her fans as a brigade to help her get a divorce or to keep this guy from getting anything from her after the divorce. That is a really shitty person. And that is what makes the song just a really bad idea for her. But again, it's not bad because of the channel or the money she's made or anything, because she's already gotten there. She's already made her money. She probably still has fans that vehemently support her. This is a non-apology vid. It's a mocking vid. It's a let me twist the knife vid. So stop calling it an apology vid, because it isn't. It was never supposed to be. It isn't supposed to be. This is obviously just the type of person she is. And I don't think anybody should be going to her video, making her some more money so they can say, oh my God, what's a horrible... Yeah, that's going to be for the prosecution to decide. That's going to be what cooks her ass. And I hope her ass does get cooked in court. And that's the end of it. That's it.